Good morning. It's a little bit cool out here in the shop this morning. I'm going to start a quick video this morning concerning the clock hands. This is a quick update on the clock. It's been running successfully, very successfully, for I think about a month now. So it's steady as a rock, and it keeps absolutely perfect time with very little regulation. It's hard to get the clock regulated out here in this atmosphere. So it's cool at nights and warm in the daytime. So it's not a good place to regulate it. But it's been doing really well, and I've been experimenting with that. Actually, in just a few minutes, I adjusted the pendulum length. So it's within seconds per day, and so now I'm experimenting with the weight tray or the weight shelf, which is midway down the pendulum rod. So adding weight to that will increase the time, or how do I want to say? The clock is set so it loses a few seconds a day. So by adding weights to the pendulum, to the weight tray, you can, get the clock to gain time. So anyway, that does work quite well. And right now I'm adding way more weight than I would normally add. So the pendulum length probably needs a slightly, a little bit more adjustment, but it's pretty close. I would say it's keeping time within, I don't know, less than 30 seconds a day, even with the changes in temperature. So anyway, that said, if you'll notice and we talked about this before, I temporarily made some hands for the clock, and at the time I didn't have any steel gauge plate that was a 32nd of an inch thick. All I had was brass. So it was meant to be temporary, to cut the hands out of a piece of thin brass plate. So that's what I did, knowing full well that they don't show up very well and that they wouldn't be a good end product. But that said, I've been thinking about it lately, and I decided to treat the hands chemically to see if I couldn't blacken them up enough to make them presentable. So that's what I'm going to try this morning. So I purchased a product called Brass Black, and it's a Birchwood product. And I'm going to give it a try and see just how it works. So I'll probably pull the second hand off first and see how that works. So I'll show you that process, and we'll be using a cotton swab and just saturated with the acid-like product, and see just how black we can get the hands in a few minutes. I haven't tried it, I haven't opened it, it's sitting on the bench, and let me see if I can zoom in on it. So it's sitting on the bench over there. It's called Brass Black, and it's manufactured by Birchwood Casey. So we're going to give that a try and see how that works this morning. So I'll be shutting the camera on and off a few times during the process. I'm going to run in the house and get some cotton swabs right now. And I got a bucket of clean water down here. I think those are the only two things I actually need to do this. So with that, I'll bring you back in a few seconds. Okay, we're going to give this a try. I got some cotton swabs, and I've opened the package, and so that's it. It's called Brass Black, and it's by Birchwood Casey, which makes a lot of gun products. So we're going to see if it is even possible to do this. I suppose I should have some protection on my hands because this is some sort of acid, so I guess I'll find out the hard way. We got a little bit of tin foil here to take off. Okay, there we go. Now it's very easy. These are, I'm going to take off the second hand here. It's very simple to do. It's got a tapered hole in here, and the arbor is tapered, so it just slides on and is held on there by friction. Let's see here. I got a screwdriver right here. There's a screw in the end of here I think I need to take out. There we go. And take the hand off. Now, these hands are nice and clean. I'm not going to do anything to them, but they tell you to that you need to burnish them with something, make sure there's no oxidation on them, clean them in alcohol and so forth and so on. But since this is just an experiment, this little bottle is pretty full. That's saturated, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some of this product on here and see if it turns black. You can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but I'll help you to see here in a minute. I see the product is clear to begin with, but the swab is turning dark blue. So I guess it's doing something. See if I can zoom in on this a little bit. I'm trying not to get my fingers in the acid. Well, there we go. I'm just letting it sit here for a few minutes. Now, it might be better to put a little bit of this, use an eyedropper or something. You need to be conservative with this product, I think. Okay, I think the wait time is going to be more than the video can tolerate, so they say 1 minute, but I'm not sure about that because it's already been 30 seconds at least, and I can see it starting to turn dark, but it looks like it might take a little bit longer than 1 minute. So I'll shut the camera off and bring you back as soon as it turns dark. I'll keep track of the time. Okay, I'm back. I discovered in, well, it's been about 5 minutes, but I discovered that the brass does not take the chemical without being when it has any oxidation on it at all. So evidently it had some oxidation on it. I took a piece of Scotch-Brite and wiped it and the chemical's been on there for about a minute or two. So I'm gonna, you can see, I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty small, but it does turn it black. It is black, and so I'm gonna swish it in some water down here. I have a bucket of water, and let's just see what it did. I think that's going to be acceptable. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. That actually, they're right. It only took less than a couple minutes anyway, and that's just one coat. Now they tell you to, you know, add additional coats if you want to get it blacker. Did turn it black. I think with some, I don't know, lacquer or something, that would come out quite shiny black. So I think it's something that's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and at least get the hand, this hand and the hour hand black, and put them back on the clock in this condition without being waxed or polished or lacquered or anything, and see how they stand out against the dials, because the brass definitely was not working very well. So anyway, I hope you can see that it turned it nice and black in one treatment. So I'm going to shut the camera off and go ahead and do the other hand, the hour hand, and then we'll take a look at them on the clock and see how it actually turned out. Okay, that only took a few minutes. I decided to just do one hand, and I made several applications. I'm not real crazy about the procedure, but I think it's maybe adequate. It kind of turns it to a gunmetal gray, I guess. Not sure I can get it darker than that. I left it on for a minute or two, 2 times, and of course I'm holding it with my fingers, and then so that doesn't work very well either. It doesn't oxidize it necessarily, but I'm not sure the acid takes as well when you go back over it if your fingers have been on it. But anyway, it's been rinsed and wiped off and put back on the clock. So you can see it going there. At least it's better than the brass, the bare brass. Let me go back and let me go to the other one. That's why I didn't do both. So there's a comparison. There's the hour hand approaching the 11 o'clock hour. And it's, it doesn't show up very well, right? So there you go. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do all the hands this morning and see how that works out. But the clock is as an update, the clock is doing really well. So the dials are all finished, and so I'm ready to, I guess, build a cabinet for it. It's a fairly easy cabinet to build. You know, it's a foot wide or so and about 4 feet high, and it just hangs on the wall. The whole contraption with the cabinet and the clock and everything is going to be fairly heavy, but the clock does work so good, I'm encouraged to build a cabinet. So I think once it's inside on an interior wall, it'll keep fabulous time. I've already figured that out. I've been coming out here for a week or so, maybe more than that now, checking on it, and if it's lost or gained any time at all, it's been a few seconds. So, and that's with little or no regulation whatsoever. So I did drop some pennies, which pennies are 2.5 grams, and so that's a lot of weight to put on the weight tray. But they do work. It does regulate the clock, and I've heard of people putting as small as 0.1 grams on the weight tray to get the clock really regulated. So we'll see how that goes. But here's another look at the hand, and then I'll call off because I don't want to make this a long video. But it does show up a lot better, even though it isn't black, but it's kind of a gunmetal black. So it does look pretty good. Anyway, I'll call off now and get this posted, and you can see how this product works. Again, it's let me move over here. Let's see here. Again, it's brass black. Let me put the lid on it here before I'd spill it, and then that'll be it. So it is brass black by Birchwood Casey, and it does work, and it just takes a minute or two. And I guess if you want to put a little clear lacquer over that, that'll probably enhance the black color and also protect it. So anyway, with that, I'll call off and get this posted. I did use multiple swabs. Now I don't know, I didn't want to dip the swab. I keep dipping the used swabs into the bottle because I didn't want to contaminate what was in there. So that's the reason for that. So I used 4 or 5 swabs there, you can see. But so anyway, I'll call off now. Hope you got something out of this, and maybe somebody out there will find this product useful. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.